Hello. I have literally nothing planned for this recording. I sort of just felt like perhaps there's something that wanted to come through. And so here I am. I just noticed that my friend's place I'm staying at, her blinds were, ripped, torn from having a dog here. And I just noticed now, after being here for a day, that there's tape on them, like very makeshift, just like clear, crappy tape. But it's like holding it in place, it's doing its job. I probably shouldn't have said the word crappy. I was just trying to convey the fact that it's like just quick, really cheap tape, but it's holding it together. And so it kind of feels like I was really drawn to that, and I didn't notice it until I pushed record. It feels like, interesting, I'm hearing the word mended, like something is mended or mending, but there may be like a temporary, kind of like a temporary, like this tape, foundation or structure that sort of maybe doesn't look appealing, but it's doing the job for now. So yeah, so something feels like very temporary or very fleeting. Interesting. And the music just changed. And what came on is called In a Haze. And the little picture is like very foggy, and there's water on the window. And the last day or two I was in San Francisco, I just got back to Florida yesterday, and there was this like just beautiful view that I had of certain area that was foggy, and then like the sun started to come out. And I know that was like a couple days ago, but that's like the energy that I'm getting now with this haze. And even today, actually, same thing in Florida. I just realized it was really cloudy, and then like maybe an hour ago the sun just like came out of nowhere. So it feels like my voice just started to feel shaky, and I almost feel like I'm pausing, because the way it's coming in is like, it's so interesting. Yeah, like my voice literally felt like it was shaking. Excuse me. Every once in a while, I'll feel called to just do like a quicker transmission of sort of like just a current energy check-in / hope type of thing. The song in my head just popped in, Cheerleader. What's that song? I think I found myself a cheerleader. She's always right there when I need her. I don't know. The song just popped in. There could be a message in there for someone. But yeah, maybe someone just needed like a little personal cheerleader. Not that oh, okay. It's funny because I was a cheerleader in high school. I don't know. Maybe someone here was a cheerleader. Man, woman, whatever. Gender doesn't necessarily apply here. There's something about that. Of course, that won't be for everyone, but my grades were not good enough to stay on the cheer team. Anyway, I think I had to go to summer school or something. So my cheerleading career was very short-lived, but yeah. I'm also seeing like gymnastics, cheerleading, dancing. Yeah, so maybe something about like movement, shaking, even just like putting on music for 30 seconds and moving your body. Like there's something maybe about like changing up the energy that way, if it's something that you're feeling, and if you are already doing that, this could just be like a, validation or confirmation. I was really like wanting rose today, like some sort of like rose beverage. I was looking at rose water. Like I was just really into rose, and I maybe I'll try and add this in the like after the thumbnail. I sat at a little cafe today quickly, and on the ceiling they have like chalk, and one of the things written was love : rose. And I took a picture of it for some reason, and now I'm just realizing I bought like a can of Italian sparkling rosé and a rose hibiscus like adaptogenic drink. And I wanted a little bit of wine, but I didn't want to like drink a whole bottle of wine, so I just got this can, and I've been mixing it with the sparkling rose hibiscus beverage. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but yeah, maybe there's something about that. Roses in general could be significant. I don't know, I just heard like Lady of the Rose. And also, it doesn't have to be lady, it has to be man of the rose. I just heard Lady of the Rose, and there's something about like, I've been feeling like the cosmic roses, sisterhood of the roses. There's so much about the rosary lineage. And when I say like, I really try not to gender specific, like sisterhood, because, it can be for anyone, but there is, I believe, a group, Sisterhood of the Roses. So that's why I said that. But yeah, there's like star lineages coming through as well, through the rosary. And I'm seeing like specifically the Pleiades Cygnus. So you could be seeing swans. It's the swan constellation. Of course, the Seven Sisters, Sisterhood. Hyades. Oh, there's another one I'm hearing, but for some reason the word isn't coming out. Hydra. There is a transmission on my channel about like the Rose Ray era or something. There may be messages in there for you. Yeah, and maybe yourself, maybe you've been craving like rose water, using it on your face. Maybe that would like be really nice for you if that's something you feel called to. I heard like rose syrup. Maybe someone here like makes their own like elixirs, syrups, syrup. How do you say it? Syrup. I just heard like a maple syrup. I don't know why I heard it that way, but I did. That's funny. Yeah, the energy is lightening up a lot. I feel much more giddy. Anyway, so yeah, I'm probably not going to do an overflow for this one because this just feels like a more quick transmission, like I said. I just saw two different oracle cards in my head at the same time and heard two things at the same time. One of them was the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. I believe that's the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle. Whew. And another card from her deck. Priestess. High Priestess, maybe? High Priest, High Priestess. How can you step up and lead? And then also... I heard the phrase star bathing and crystalline grid, which I believe was a card that came up in my mind's eye in a different transmission. So I don't know, maybe some of you have that deck and pulled a card with those words in it, or have a deck with those words in it, or maybe it's just something that's been coming up for you. Oh, and now the song just switched again, and it's called Serendipity. So yeah, feels like there's serendipitous, the movie Serendipity could be coming up, but it does feel like there's some sort of serendipitous The word isn't coming to me. I heard serendipitous and then in the air. So it's like serendipitous blank in the air. I don't know. Maybe it's up to you to fill in the blank. Maybe each of you like will hear a word in your head and that will be what it is. Like first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, I just heard go. Okay. That's fun. Serendipitous. Oh, there's a reader on YouTube. What does she call herself? Divine Empress 333, maybe? Something like that. I really like her just because she's just herself and it's really nice. And she's also like very intuitive. And yeah, I don't know why she's coming up. I don't know, maybe some of you here have listened to her before but she talks about, I believe, the movie Serendipity. I always think of the frozen hot chocolate. Maybe someone here really likes that. And like how that parallels like what a lot of us are calling like divine union type of relationships or whatever you want to label it. And there has been, you know, if that's something, and again, it doesn't have to be an external person, you know, it can be something deepening with yourself, with whatever you believe in terms of, I just heard omnipresence. Yeah, so there's something about that coming in, and I don't know why, I just saw like so clearly a white envelope with like a center golden seal. And then almost like, you know, You've Got Mail or AOL, like those little old icons with like the mailbox and the little envelope. I don't know why I'm seeing that as well. Yeah, so quite literally you can be receiving something in the mail, email, something like that. That feels serendipitous. I heard correction. That is serendipitous. 404 has been coming up a lot lately, like the error code. So maybe after like multiple error codes and refreshes, like something will be like just right. I'm hearing like Goldilocks. This is so funny. Oh man. Okay, and then back to the idea of it's like I was hearing the other day and I'm hearing it again, the permanent crystal seed atom, KRYSTALATOM. So this like high heart activation, and when I say activation, I mean it'll be different for everyone. Wherever you are, you know, there's an expansion or an increase is what I'm feeling. And for some of you, it actually feels like I'm almost seeing like an empty pool that's like dug into the ground, like a natural pool, and it's like so super specific. So it's like the carve out has been there, and now like the water is starting to enter, or the water is getting higher, or maybe it was drained and now new fresh water is coming in, like live water. You know, like natural minerals, salt water is like filling up, you know, that overflow type of. And of course, water is symbolic in so many ways. And I saw recently on somewhere on one of the social media places, like a reference to living water and memory and the connection to that, and how it's so sacred and to honor it. And those of us who remember the living consciousness of water and how it's used not only as a divinatory vehicle or medium, but it itself is a living being and has its own structure and like ascension and evolution process. And I remember actually, like, I don't know, this was probably in like 2019, 2020. It was when I was really like starting to practice opening my channel, and I was sitting in the woods in front of a stream of water, and the essence of Sirius B came through. It was actually like they showed themselves to be like a triple council, of Pleiades, Sirius B. I'm hearing Arcturus, but at the time, I don't know if they presented as Arcturus, to be honest. And one of the beings, one of them came forward as like, they call themselves the Ptah, Ptah. It's supposed to be like a certain form of consciousness from like some of the higher dimensional Pleiades aspects. And they were showing me about water. And a lot of what now to me is like just embedded within like the way I view the world. But at the time, you know, I was just coming back online into a lot of these memories. And yeah, and I just remember at the time being like, can I really trust this? Like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, I was just like trying to be open and receive, but also like, you know, anyway. So yeah, that is coming through really strongly. And okay, I heard like calling the roses, and then I heard War of the Roses, which I feel like was, what was War of the Roses? Oh my God, I think it was like a Q102. If you're from the tri-state area I think it was the tri-state area. I'm from Philly, so growing up on Q102, they had this like, which is a radio station if you're not familiar, like War of the Roses. I don't know why that's coming through. I don't even remember what it is. But, okay. What was that? I feel like it was like people would try to like catch their partners by sending roses, like anonymous roses, and to see if the partner would like send it to them or to someone else, you know? Because usually like if someone's cheating, they're going to send it to like their mistress or their, what's the male version of that? I really don't even know. That's terrible. Okay, well, Monsieur? No, it's definitely not that. I'm just joking. I'm getting a little silly. So basically, it's like, yeah, I guess there's some sort of like maybe evolution, like like maybe there's like a past version of you that like karmically dealt with a lot of War of the Roses type of energy, and now you are either stepping into or have been in a more like integrated like higher heart-based relationship flow kind of thing, even if you're not in an external relationship, just that energy like around you and within you. Okay, let me think. I know there's one more thing. I didn't mean to say let me think, so maybe some of you are trying to think your way out of something, but this is requiring you to more feel through it and less thinking. That could be for just a few of you. Not that we should not think. Sometimes when I hear that, I'm like, oh, sure, let me just not think. I more just mean like your senses are being engaged more fully. So I just felt in the back of my crown, specifically like kind of where the soft spot is on a baby, or like a little bit lower than that, like something just lit up. I just heard lobotomy and then phlebotomy. That could just be something for a few people. I don't know, lobotomy. I feel like when I was younger, I remember like a certain phrase, people would be like, oh, yeah, sure, if I had a lobotomy. I don't know why I heard that. So maybe for someone like their mom or their parents or their aunt or something used to say that. Interesting. Atrophy, the word atrophy. When something in your body becomes atrophied. Yeah, so whether physically, energetically, emotionally, maybe there's something that you're rebuilding. You know, like when you atrophy, it like loses its elasticity, essentially. I don't know why I just said it like that. I meant to say like it loses its, I'm not getting a word, but so there could be something that's being rebuilt. Oh, yeah, some of you maybe getting into and or deepening your practice with astral projection and the silver cord, or, you know, if you're someone who's like been having experiences for a really long time, there could be like something to reflect on. Like maybe there's an experience that you're being called to share, or maybe you just did. Like there's something about that coming up. I'm seeing the Virgo constellation, and I know that there's another H collective that I can feel, and for some reason, like I know this name so well, and it's not showing up, and I'm not being called to Google it, so I'm not sure why. I'm just gonna trust that, but I'm feeling them very strongly. I don't know, maybe someone here like wants to intuitively feel it and guess or knows. I don't know, so feel free to like share, because their name just won't. I'm sure as soon as I end this transmission, I'm going to think of it. So I'm just going to trust that it's not coming to me for a reason, but those are your clues. I also just heard the word snake, and then I heard the phrase secret societies. So maybe someone here is like diving into that. Maybe someone here like has found out that someone in your family was a part of that, or there's just something about that coming up. The color of violet, or the name or the flower can be significant. Violet liqueur, butterfly PT. There's something about violet. I saw 2222 on the timer. The song has been coming up so much. Hold On, from Wilson Phillips. Hold On One More Day. I used to love the song when I was a kid so much. My sister and I used to sing it a lot. So, yeah. I feel like there's like so much that wants to come through in general. But I'm actually feeling called to like end here. I'll probably come through soon with like a longer transmission and an overflow with some of the like higher ascension mechanics weaved in. But yeah, this just, like I said, felt like a more quicker transmission. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I ended the recording and I sat with it for a second. I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. And I do actually want to do an overflow. So yeah, if you stuck around until the end, then sometimes we change our mind, right? Or something shifts even that quickly. And yeah, I do feel called. So I will. I'm going to probably be reading some of the higher ascension mechanics around the like permanent crystal seed atom and unconditional love template, and then weave in some of the different collectives that I was feeling, and just sort of see what comes through. All right, that is all. Thank you. Oh, and this transmission feels like, you know, when someone's trying to get off the phone and then they just like, the conversation just keeps going. That's what keeps happening. Like I keep thinking it's over and then I'm like, wait, there's one more thing. like, just kidding. Bye, just kidding. Here I am again. For you, it's, all gonna just run together. So you'll just hear me say bye a bunch of times. But basically, yellow flowers, dandelions, can be significant. Yeah, there's like some sort of ease that is coming in, or it's already here, depending where you're at. And I don't know why, but I felt like guided to put on the show Charmed. I've never actually seen that show. But I didn't realize, like, where I'm staying at my friend's place, she has like access to a certain part of her channels that I didn't even know existed. And I was looking around and Charmed pop up, and I was like, I wonder what that's about. So I just like watched maybe the first 3 to 7 minutes of the first episode. So that show can be, something for someone. And I've been like pretty nomadic the last few years overall. I mean, just I haven't had like a, one location. And recently I've been feeling like, like maybe there's like an opportunity that has popped up in South Florida for me to take some more pet sitting gigs, like more frequently. But I would need to like find a place to stay. And before it just like felt so like, I don't know, it just like was not in the cards at all, and then all of a sudden, like today, things feel like different, and like the energy is completely moved. Anyway, so I'm just sharing this because it feels like, it can be around like a living situation or just some form of, I don't really even want to say the word stability, because like I chose to have that experience, and I'm possibly looking for a sublet right now. It's not even like I'm, signing papers and buying a house. I mean, maybe one day, but what I'm trying to say is like, I chose that experience, and now I'm kind of being called to still travel, but like maybe have, I don't know, just like a sublet or something for a little while and whatever. So there's just feels like a switch up in that area, that maybe one way you were feeling called to do something, again, maybe in regards to like a living situation, travel, maybe if you've been really like fixed or stationary, maybe you're being called to like move more. Like there's something about that also coming through. And it's so funny because I was like asking like myself, I guess you could say, like if this is something I'm being called to do, like is it for my highest good? And then when I was guided to put on that show Charmed, within like I said, the first few minutes, I guess there's 3 sisters, and 2 of the sisters were talking about subletting and finding a place to stay, or having someone sublet with them or something. And I was like, are you kidding me? Oh, so funny. Yeah, so there's also something about that as well, like perhaps getting like direct synchronistic messages like that from your environment, from other people, from movies, from music. And if you've already been experiencing like these type of things for a long time, it feels like there's even like a deepening to that, or like even a stronger flow. This really does, though, also feel like there's multiple areas of life that will be just like back to that pool analogy with the water. That water is coming in, it's alive, it's crystalline, and it's like its structure is coming back into its higher form. And when I say higher, I mean wherever each person will be, tuned into their own holographic template perspective. And so it's not going to be the same for everyone, but as a collective and multidimensional community that I am attempting to weave here, there will be like, of course, like that invisible string, if you will, that ties us all together, but then our each individual expression. Oh, and I just looked over to the TV and I realized it says the music that's on, projection. And I was talking about astral projection. And so interesting, the person, it looks like a wax figure, but it's from the nose down, and the top is like completely flat where the rest of the eyes and the head would be. And I was talking about violet earlier. So someone here can be working with like the ultraviolet flame or the violet flame, Saint Germain, that type of energy, instant transmutation. But okay, interesting. So what I'm getting from this visual is like, it almost looks like a plateau. But the person's eyes are not present. So there's something that, like maybe you're not seeing that feels like a plateau. But I'm hearing it's just a rest. There's just some stillness. Like it's safe to enjoy, basically. And if you're not feeling like that, that could just be for some people. Also bewitched. Oh no, I'm seeing when she like moves her nose, like wrinkles her nose, wriggles her nose. What's that word? Wriggles her nose. And I'm seeing someone's ears. Like when, I cannot do this, but when you can like move your ears, just by like utilizing the muscles in your face. I don't know, maybe someone here can do that, but I was seeing that. The element of fire is coming up. Maybe someone here has a fear of fire. I'm also seeing like fire or candle scrying, shamanic journeying. Yeah, I keep wanting to go deeper into each topic but this just feels like things are just coming up to be right as they're presented. Like every time I try to dig deeper, it just brings me to another topic or energy. I knew there was another collective that wanted to come through, and the one that I was trying to remember earlier still has not, which is so surprising to me. But what just came on the screen is Andromeda, and there's a cat in like an astronaut helmet. The feline collectives have been coming through very strongly. Excuse me. Violet eyes are coming through, and Andromeda. So constellation and galaxy, the auroras. Yeah, if anyone here has any like requests or wants to go deeper with any of this, and I do have throughout my channel now a little bit of a library built up, so there's probably other transmissions I can refer you to if you want to go deeper with some of these aspects. Like I said, this just feels like how it wants to come through right now. Laurel bay leaf, I'm seeing that as well. I know some people like to utilize that, like you can write something on them. Maybe you've done this before, as like a form of materializing your visions or heart-based desires. I'm actually being guided to look up Laurel bay leaf, and I just saw 916, which was the address of like my childhood home. So there could be something about the subconscious, the childhood home. You know what? I'm just remembering an episode of Charmed that I put on again for just a few minutes. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually watch it or not. All the three sisters, which I think, like I said, I think they're sisters, and I do have two sisters, so that's funny, are moving back into their childhood homes. So there's something about that, whether it's like revisiting memories, something coming up about that, maybe a family reunion, I don't know, something's coming up about this. My right thumb just went numb and it's in pain. I am not sure what the message is yet, but wow, I feel that very strongly. If someone's dealing with something Sometimes I get the opposite, so it doesn't have to be the right side, but there's something about like the thumb, and it's almost like going up into the wrist. And also now it's like spreading to the palm of my hand. Yeah, there's something about a bay in general, like bay shore, bay leaf, bayside, maybe something I was just talking about. Saved by the Bell, the Bay Area, which I was just in the Bay Area. I just remember that. So in many spiritual traditions, bay laurel leaves, also known as bay leaves, are associated with protection, purification, and victory. They are often used in rituals and ceremonies to ward off negative energies, promote success, and enhance psychic abilities. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm still feeling that energy in the thumb that's like starting to radiate outward. Now I just heard the song Say My Name from Destiny's Child. It's just like, yeah, there's something about like the past coming up, like childhood, teenage years. For some of you, this could have been like an old injury, like maybe you broke a finger or a wrist or something. But for some of you, it can be present. And if it's more of a present thing or within the last few years that's just coming up, it actually could be like something from your childhood. Like there could be some sort of childhood like pattern, trauma experience that like was manifesting as some sort of like pain in the hand or injury or something like this. Of course, it will be different for each of you if that's even sitting with you. But it took a minute to get there, so it could be like pretty deep rooted. Yeah, purging and releasing, so I heard someone online describe focus as heat. So, and I was just staring at, there's a fake fireplace on right now that I've just been like sort of gazing into. Yeah, so there's something about like the fire element and focus. Okay. I am officially not going to joke about this. I am officially finished. Okay, thank you. You may hear me say bye. I think this is the transmission saying bye like multiple times and being like, just kidding, there's more. It was either this one or another one I posted, the love frequency. Either way, I know at some point during this recording, I was talking about a collective with the letter H and in the Virgo constellation. I don't know if you just heard that ding, but it was a notification of a subscription email to Portal to Ascension. They were talking about hybrids, so that could be relevant for someone. But so interesting. I mixed up two things, which I don't do too often. So I feel like it must have not been an accident. So later on, the collective came to me, the Hidarians, but they are in the constellation, I believe it says Beta Centauri. So, excuse me. And And then the other collective that I was feeling is Speak Up from the Virgo constellation. And what's really, really interesting is that I just got to a new place last night with a beautiful view of the water and like the open sky. And I went outside at night to like sit with the moon for a moment and the two pups that I'm watching. And I sometimes will see like flashes of light. You may have heard me talk about it before. Maybe you experience this too, or maybe you will soon, for certain parts of the sky. And one of the stars like lit up when I like looked up, and I used the Stellarium app, and it was Spica. And I was like, from the Virgo constellation, and I was like, okay. So yeah, so for some reason, again, I don't know why I was thinking Hadarian, which was the H collective from Beta Centauri, and then Speak Up from Virgo. But so there might be some sort of, my left eye just started to like light up when I said that. Like I felt movement. Interesting. I'm hearing the left eye of Horus. Someone here, maybe I heard like specifically Egyptian alchemy. So that could be for someone. There's like a very feminine principle polarity sort of chiming in when I tap into this energy. Oh, and you know what? I just realized the notification that I just called off was about hybrids, and I was bringing in two collectives that were like braiding together. So like braiding hybrids could be really showing up for you right now. You may be like starting and or deepening your ability to braid. And when I say braiding, oh, my voice is leaving, so you could be going through a throat activation as well. It could be coming through like multidimensional aspects. It could also be like different layers. So it could be this multidimensional aspect, like you're tapping into multiple collectives or multiple lifetimes at once, multiple, like I heard frequency states, and then it can also be grounding something physically. So you may be like braiding 3 passive streams of income together. Like maybe it's been quite disjointed. So it could be showing up in multiple areas. You could be getting into more about DNA or something that could be in the future. As I said that, this adorable little puppy that I'm watching just jumped up. And he hasn't jumped up where I'm sitting yet before. Yes, so something might be popping in as well. All right, that's all. Thank you.